Yeah, guys, I saw the second so-called trailer to Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. We've all seen it. A lot of other YouTubers have seen it. I've been watching a lot of reviews about it. Everyone, so many people. And, you know, the whole world is abuzz right now about what we saw. We saw a sky full of Star Destroyers, and they look like Imperial Star Destroyers, not First Order Star Destroyers. We saw C-3PO with red eyes. What's that about? We saw a whole nostalgic montage of all the Star Wars films that have ever been released regarding the Skywalker saga. Rey training in the woods with a remote, the kind of remote that we first saw in the original 1977 Star Wars with Luke Skywalker and the Millennium Falcon. We saw Princess Leia. Carrie Fisher, God rest her soul, is in the movie via extra footage they had left over from the last two films. But the thing that everybody's losing their minds about, the thing that's driving everybody nuts, is that very last image in the very end. You know, which is that shot of what looks to be Rey in a dark cloak wielding a two-bladed lightsaber. I don't know if I'm going to be able to say anything that's that different from what everybody else is saying. I'm only here to just give you my 2 cents on it. I believe this, though, and you could take what I said and you could put it on record. This is not Rey turning to the dark side. Rey's not turning to the dark side. Why? The answer is in plain sight. Why would you put such a huge, momentous twist spoiler of that magnitude in a trailer? And it's not even that much of a trailer. It's more like a 1 minute ooh-ah. That alone tells you that, no, Rey's not going dark. What we're seeing here is something else. Now, I've heard other YouTubers say maybe it's a vision, similar to Luke's vision in the cave in The Empire Strikes Back of what his fate might be if he turned to the dark side. I've heard other people say that she's a clone because of, you know, little selected angles from the expanded universe novels and stuff like that. There's only one thing I'm thinking of that may be more true. I don't think it's those things. I think what we're looking at is maybe that is Rey's twin sister. Remember how in the Return of the Jedi, Obi-Wan revealed to Luke how he had a twin sister, and everybody lost their minds that it was Leia, that it was his twin sister. Maybe we're gonna get that same kind of thing in The Rise of Skywalker. Maybe we're going to discover that Rey had a twin sister and that she had completely given herself over to darkness, and she may have been a disciple of Supreme Leader Snoke for all we know, which you know, may answer the question of why her lightsaber is like Kylo Ren's, that is all fluttery and choppy like that, the same way Kylo Ren's is. You know, remember, the reason why Kylo Ren's lightsaber is the way it is, the way it looks, you know, has this fiery glimmer to it, is because of its cracked kyber crystal within. It appears that that lightsaber that you see this Rey person wielding at the end of this trailer has the same kind of cracked kyber crystal. Now, what does that mean? That Supreme Leader Snoke had a whole bunch of cracked red kyber crystals put away somewhere? Yeah, anybody notice the ring light on the bottom? I got rid of it. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. I'm gonna keep it anyway. Goes to show you how raw these videos can get sometimes. Anyway, like I was saying, I think that this is a very big thing. I'm intrigued. Many critics don't like it. Other critics are kind of like milking it for what it is so that they can get more views and more views and more views. I personally care about none of that. But that's just me. I'm not saying these other YouTubers are bad people or anything. No, no. You know, everybody's got their way of going about. And that's cool. You know, I just don't want to do it. That's not how I roll with it. I like to think that whatever is going to come out of The Rise of Skywalker is going to put a final close and end to, like the trailer said, a whole generation is coming to an end. We heard Palpatine's voice again. We can't gloss over that. You know, we know that Palpatine's back. We know Darth Sidious is back. What role does he play in this? I have no clue. The shot of Rey and Kylo Ren fighting over the remnants of the second Death Star, which you saw towards the end of the trailer as well, that's honestly the thing that really got me buzzing. Even more so, arguably, than the whole image of Rey with a two-bladed lightsaber. That lightsaber, it's almost like a switchblade lightsaber. It's like a flip saber. It's like a flipping lightsaber. It's so weird the way they came up with that. I was like, well, you know what? That's unique. I never thought of that one. I like to think that maybe, oh man, wait until the collectible people start creating a lightsaber like that. How much is that gonna run, huh, peep? I'm telling you, so many things are gonna come out of this. It's gonna be funny. Like I'm sure that Kenner and the Black Series is gonna come out with that lightsaber, and every other lightsaber company that's out there, Saber Forge, Ultra Sabers, Pock Store, whatever, they're all gonna, Vader's Vault, they're all gonna come out with their own version of that double-bladed lightsaber that you just flick. I don't know how you're gonna do that without hurting your fingers. You know, what if you close it on your thumb or something? I don't know. I thought it was mad cool, and I find it appropriate that, chronologically speaking, the first film, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, starts with a double-bladed red lightsaber by Darth Maul, and now it ends with a double-bladed lightsaber with this Rey twin. This is why, you know, I really don't think they would give something like that away. Well, guess what, everybody? Rey turns to the dark side. Here it is. Really, JJ? You're not. I know what you're up to. You're getting us talking. You're getting us a buzz, and guess what? It has worked. We are excited. I, for one, am excited. I, for one, am thrilled. But I'm not taking the bait that easily. Rey's not going dark, people. This is somebody else. Either it's a vision or it's somebody else. And it's somebody else that's connected to the whole thing that we have yet to see. They were talking throughout months since the first trailer came out back in April about how there's going to be another Dark Force user. And that this Dark Force user was a disciple of either Kylo Ren's or a disciple of Supreme Leader Snoke that has returned it. I'd like to think that this person, this twin of Rey's, is just that. You know, so let's find out. I'm excited. I have no problem seeing how this turns out. I'm very excited. I grew up with this film. I grew up with this franchise. This has been a part of my life longer than it hasn't. And there's something to that. I know they're going to continue to make other Star Wars related material. You know, with the announcement of and the release of the Mandalorian trailer, which I got hyped up. I loved what I saw in that trailer. Excited about that. I'm also excited to know that Ewan McGregor is coming back as Obi-Wan Kenobi in his own series, depicting his life apparently on Tatooine, is what I'd like to think, unless they take it somewhere else. I wouldn't know anything else besides Ewan McGregor being on Tatooine all those years, what his adventures there would be. I know they came out with a book that I read a couple years or so ago showing that. But, you know, I don't know whether or not they'll pick off that book a little bit to do this. But if it's a series that Disney Plus is going to release, then you know what? I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to it than just what's in that book. But Rey turning dark? I don't think so. What do you think? Talk to me. Comment below and share with me your thoughts on this whole thing about Rey. Whether or not it's really Rey turning dark, or whether it is her twin, or maybe just a vision, or something. This is Ralph Perez from Strange Planet. Take care.